Hey, welcome to the first Redskins rundown of the 2021 NFL season. I'm sure we're all pumped about that. And, the season didn't start out so great, but some good stuff the second week. We weren't around the first week, but just to recap, Fitzpatrick got hurt and we lost. That's basically, like the key points from that game.
Yeah, yeah, it was unfortunate to see him go down, but I mean, it does give a new opportunity to Taylor, so
Yes,
that's been
yes.
exciting.
I think there are some Taylor haters. There's a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, he sucks, whatever. But from my experience, like people I know around here at the bar that watch the game, everyone when Fitzpatrick got hurt, we were all like, oh man, but the excitement level went up, and it's like I almost felt bad because like we
Yeah,
were so excited about it, but like Fitzpatrick just got hurt, and it's like you don't ever want to see that, and
sure.
Fitzpatrick's a great guy, it's like, and you hate to see it, but God, like I can't lie, like the excitement, everyone's chanting Heineke, like all pumped up,
Oh wow,
so it was
yeah,
yeah, I'm like I think I have a video of it. It's crazy. But
okay,
yeah, so the first game of the season, unfortunately we lost. But the second game was a lot better. It didn't start out great. Taylor did come out with 2 3 and outs, and it felt familiar, like with the last few seasons. We're always just a slow start. It seems like we come out and just nothing happens, and that's pretty much what happened. But after that, the defense unfortunately gives up a touchdown on the first Giants drive. So they went 3 and out, Giants scored, then we went 3 and out again. But we did stop the Giants, and then after Taylor got the ball back again, he finally hit Diami Brown for an awesome 22-yard catch,
yeah, I
first of the
remember that.
game.
That was nice.
Yeah, he like it. Taylor throws the ball a little high. Like I'm not gonna lie, but like the playmakers that we have make it work, and it also can prevent interceptions depending on where the defenders are. And just Diami just jumps up and you just
I,
leaps
f-
for it, and it's
I
like,
feel you there. I mean, as you know, Jimmy's been known to throw a high ball too. So yeah,
yeah.
sometimes it's the risk
But
reward.
like you said before, you take a high ball over a low ball most of the time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, unless you're like laying the receiver out, obviously, that's a bad situation. If you go high across the middle, that's usually not good because a lot of times you're putting your receiver out
right,
and really hanging him out to dry. But if you go high, usually over the sideline, sometimes that prevents an interception.
right. So after that, the start of the half, Heineke did pull a nice successful QB sneak on fourth down. That was nice to see. I know a QB sneak's not anything super special, but when they work, it's exciting. Fourth down, they pull it and they make it. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
well, at least he knows how to do that. It's like to see him just do more things at the quarterback. Like awesome.
So the quarterback sneak is like something that it's actually there's more to it than you would think. It requires the offensive line to really get good push and like the quarterback's really got to get low and get wedged in there. So that's why like I mean obviously there's several quarterbacks that are good at it, but that's why
Mm-hmm.
like Tom Brady effectively and like Jimmy's really effective at like the quarterback sneak as well. Some
Yeah,
quarter like Peyton Manning was a great
that's
quarterback
because
sneaker.
Jimmy learned from Tom Brady, but
That's probably true. I mean, if that's the one thing he taught him, then that was a good thing to teach him. He used it like 3 times Sunday.
I feel like he taught him how to throw that pretty football too. Tom Brady throws a pretty football too, so.
I mean, I'll take whatever the man can teach him. I mean, whatever he could have absorbed from Tom by osmosis is always good. But yeah, I mean,
Right.
Taylor's looking good. I mean, he's exciting. That game was exciting that I
Yeah, dude.
watched.
And McLaurin had a
He
fantastic
did.
game.
He
Like,
did.
oh my God. We already knew Scary Terry was a fucking beast, but oh my God, that game just some of the catches he
Oh,
made just
yeah.
oh God. Like, Taylor hits him for a touchdown to tie the game up, and it's
Yeah.
like he's easily his favorite target. Like
Yeah.
he just keeps going back to him, and
Well, he's
Taylor
he's
just
he's a good one. I mean, he should have been
yeah,
everybody's
dude.
favorite target that was out
Oh,
there. I mean,
I'm so happy to have that man.
yeah,
He's just amazing.
yeah, and I mean, you always want the stats. So here's the stat for you. Um, Terry was the first Washington wide receiver since 2014 when former Redskin and 49er Pierre Garçon did it, but he's the first receiver since 2014 to have 10 or more catches and 100 or more yards in the same game. There's a stat for
Nice.
you. Yeah,
Awesome.
2014. So it's been 7 years.
I'm surprised it was Pierre Garçon, but I mean,
Pierre Garçon was a phenomenal possession receiver. People don't like to give Pierre a lot of credit, but Pierre he's a great blocker for us in the Kyle Shanahan early
he
days.
was good. He was good, but I think he might have been better with you guys in the Redskins. I don't know.
Absolutely
I
not.
mean,
He had great seasons with you guys. He had some 1,000-yard seasons with you guys. He was with us for 2 years, but he got hurt both years, and it was at the late part of his career. We got him at the tail end, unfortunately.
oh, that's always bad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Players age.
So the defense, I mean, they recorded it was 4 sacks, right?
Yeah.
Jonathan Allen had a sack, or was it 2 sacks?
John Allen had two sacks.
2 sacks. Kendall Fuller had 1.
Yep.
And then Montez Sweat had 1, right?
Yep. Kendall Fuller coming on the corner blitz, picking.
Yeah, that was a nice one. I enjoyed that one, definitely seeing that. I was like, yeah, always nice to see the defensive backfield get in on a
absolutely. A
I
lot
love
of
that
times because
shit.
the quarterback doesn't expect it to
Exactly.
be happening at all.
Yeah,
They're just
dude.
like, oh shit.
That fast motherfucker's coming in. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Where'd he come from?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
love
that
it
was
when we
nice to
send
see.
like K'Wan Williams on like the nickel blitz, like or something. He's picked up a couple sacks the last couple seasons for us, but
Yeah.
the nickel blitz is or just sending the corner in general, or even when you send a safety, just sending that extra rusher and somebody with that speed is obviously it worked against Daniel Jones.
Yeah, speaking to Daniel Jones, one of the highlights, I guess, I have to mention, he ran for an extremely long touchdown run. I'm not entirely sure what the yardage was. It was at least 50, 60 plus yards. But it gets called back to the 11 because of a holding call, I believe. So they don't get the touchdown from it, which was great for us. But yeah, that was disappointing to say the least. Like, just that he did get into the end zone. Like, thankfully there was that penalty, but Daniel Jones, man, he's fast.
He's like that scary fast that you really don't realize how fast he is until it's like too late.
Yeah, dude. Like, how it is. Man, like, you just don't expect it.
You don't realize how quick Daniel Jones is until he's running past you, and it's like, and that's not a good situation. But yeah, I mean, this is hardly the first time he's done this, but he's certainly dynamic.
And I believe they kicked a field goal after that.
I think they did, yeah,
because they did not get into the touchdown. And then after that, Taylor, worked his way down the field, hitting McLaurin a bunch of times. McLaurin was his favorite target all game. But then when they got to the end zone, McKissick runs it in for a nice touchdown up the middle, which was nice to see.
Yeah, always nice to see. And JD had some nice catches on the day too. It's always good to see him get involved.
Yeah, he actually, I mean, I was going to mention it later. It was a little later in the game, but yeah, he had a huge catch. It was for 56 yards. It was a nice pass from Heineke.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, I didn't expect that. Like McKissick, I was like, damn, man. Like, but yeah, that was probably one of the plays. I mean, other than McLaurin's amazing catches, that 56 yard, that was the longest play of the game.
That's what McKissick, that's his role, like you've got usually like a running back that does, certain things, and sure, they can all do a little bit of everything, but usually what McKissick is he's like more used for, he's going to have way more receptions than, carries in the season, because that's
I was happy to see that. That was great. Yeah, and the Washington defense did have 5 penalties that they caused. I remember Chase Young had a really bad roughing the passer call. Like I
remember
watching
that.
It, like,
there were some.
Dave Jones goes to, it's like the ball's like here, and then Chase hits him.
Yeah.
And because Chase lands on him, and you see him trying to pick up, it's like, man, that's just stupid. 15 yards, a personal. I was just, that really irritated me.
Yeah,
like,
wasn't it like on a third down, or like it was on a.
Yeah, it was a big deal. Like, I mean, it mattered.
Gave him a fresh set of downs.
So much.
Yeah, there were a lot of situations that kept the Giants in the game that really shouldn't have. with the penalties specifically.
Well, you know what though? To be fair, I hate to say it, but to be fair, the same thing happened with us. I mean,
Yeah,
Saquon
that's true.
or was
There were a lot of
was
penalties
it Saquon?
overall.
Who dropped the pass in the end zone when the defense just the coverage fell apart and somebody was in the end zone and the
Oh,
ball hit the hands and it dropped out. They almost had a
Steve
touchdown.
Slayton. Steve Slayton.
Slayton.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, if he had caught that, then
It
you know.
wasn't.
So
It wasn't my
it goes
it
both
wasn't my
ways with
fantasy
that.
pickup. Fucking Kenny Galladay. That's all I know. He had a fucking shit game, 6 point ass game.
What's crazy is after getting like 127 points with Terry's crazy game and Tom Brady, I still lost by 0.16 points. Like fuck fantasy, man.
It's live and die by the
uh,
sword. Can't regret
but
taking.
yeah, so yeah, speaking of some like being lucky, I guess like since they dropped that touchdown pass, we should have lost that game. I hate to say it. I know a lot of people don't want to admit that. Like, oh, don't say shit like that. If they didn't go offsides, Hopkins missed that kick. And if you watched his second kick from 5 yards closer, it was the exact same kick. It was just 5 yards closer, and it happened to make it. That's literally what
That
it was.
5 yards
Like
will
if you
make the
watch it,
difference.
it's literally
When
it's
the kick
literally
starts to
the same
curve,
kick.
when the kick starts to curve, and I know this
Yeah, you
from
see that
experience,
you
like
saw the kick. Like it was he barely made it.
sometimes like the ball will just like tuck right out right behind the upright, and you just barely make it by like that much. It's like sometimes it's all the
Yeah.
clearance you get, and I mean, yeah, he he struggled obviously a little bit in the preseason, and that was a big deal. Everybody was talking about it, and I mean, he obviously made it with the redemption, but
To be fair to him though, he did make a 49 yarder to make it 2017, and then
he
he
did.
also hit a 39 yarder. So he did actually make some kicks, but the Giants kicker just nailed every single kick he made. He went for it, but
Graham
I didn't
Gano's a
mean to jump
monster.
forward to that. I did want to cover Ricky Seals Jones. Very, he's a lesser known player. He made a fucking
I know who Ricky
amazing
Seals Jones is. Ricky
catch.
Seals Jones coming over from the Kansas City Chiefs, and then before that, the Cleveland Browns. I know.
He made
I've known
such an
Ricky
amazing catch.
Seals Jones for some time. The
And that
NFL
made it
now knows
26-27
who
after
Ricky
he made
Seals
that.
Jones
And
is. Yeah, he sure did. That was a great
yeah,
catch.
that was the only
That
other
was a
thing I
great
forgot
catch.
I wanted to mention before the kicking thing is
Yeah.
God, that the pass was good, the catch was good. He just went like behind him, and oh
Yeah,
man, that was a
that was
good catch.
phenomenal. That
So,
was phenomenal.
but yeah, I hate to say it, but we really only won that game because they went offside.
Hey,
Otherwise, we missed the kick and we lost.
I'm never
And I
gonna
know when
be.
people don't want to talk or admit things like that, it's like, man, that's just the reality. Like it sucks and all, but like I'm not saying I'm happy as fuck we won and I'm gonna take the win. Don't get me wrong, but you gotta accept reality. It's like we should have lost. Like we, really, really close. So it's like, I don't know. Some fans are just so delusional. It's like, oh, you can't say anything good about the other team or anything bad about your team. It's like, no, I just accept reality and see the game as it was.
Sometimes the other team fucking kicks your ass a little bit in the trenches.
Right? Sometimes they do.
And
Sometimes the Cowboys fucking beat you into the ground and you want to kill yourself.
yeah, and I mean like
Obviously joking.
yeah, no, yeah, I know, but the amount of I don't know. I would say like the amount of yards, like you guys would definitely want to figure out the yardage thing, and I guess even like the point thing. The defense at points played pretty well, but they gave up what 29 points to the Giants, so hoping
Mm.
that obviously that gets
Yeah,
figured out.
that needs to improve. Like, I mean, ugh.
Jack Del
Like
Rio's
one
a
thing
good
with
coach though.
yeah, one thing is I've heard. I mean, I think I've read something about Ron thinking that Chase Young is putting too much pressure on himself, trying to go too hard. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but
I don't think you did.
yeah, it just seems like he's trying to maybe do too much instead of just focusing on like what he needs to do, like trying to just make big plays, run across the
He's
field, do this and that.
just pressing a bit.
I mean, he is a physical fucking monster. I mean, he kept up with Saquon Barkley,
Yeah,
like almost stride for stride, and he's
they
he's
did.
6'4", 265. I don't know what Saquon is, but I know he's way smaller than that. At least significantly by 30, 40 pounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing Chase, God, imagine him chasing after you like that, like,
Yeah, it's pretty
oof,
scary. Ugh,
frightening.
ugh.
But the one thing that I will say, the
He's way
best part
faster
of
than
this,
me. I know that.
yeah, obviously, and me, Jesus Christ. But the best thing I'll say, I mean,
Small
it was a bit of a sketchy win, and it didn't feel like like a full win given the way it turned out. But a win's a win. But the best thing is that they were 4-0 against us. So and now they're not.
They're not.
That is the thing that I'm the most happy about. And Daniel Jones once again didn't fumble somehow. I don't know what it is. He fumbles all the time, but he just doesn't fumble against us. So whatever the fuck that's about, it's irritating.
I don't know.
But yeah, at least we after last year them sweeping us, awesome to see the win, regardless of how it came out. I don't really care.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially in a division game where it's going to be usually gritty and just physical and probably really close anyway. You're just happy to get it because honestly, at the end of the season, that's what matters is like your record in the division. I mean, obviously your overall record matters too, but like that division record's really big. So
it is.
And right now, Washington's 1-0 in the division. So
yep.
You're tied for first place.
It's early. I don't.
Oh, I know. Yeah. But
remember last season the way shit went.
I do, and at this point, they didn't have any wins, so already ahead of schedule.
That's true, I guess. But also, the other teams look a lot better than they did last season. I mean, we do too, I guess. But like, also the quarterback thing is like a big mystery. If Heineke, I'm Team Heineke. I believe in Heineke. I'm all for it. But he might suck. I'm not going to deny that. Like it's possible he might.
At
just
this
fall
point,
apart.
like I'm thinking, like he's getting to the point where like 2 or 3 more games, and we're gonna get to the point where it's gonna be like, all right, well, I think we're starting to realize like it's not just because it's like you can get lucky like maybe 3 times, and that was what his third start. I was like, I'm willing to say.
Speaking of third start, I know you said this didn't mean much, but he has like the most. Was it the most completed passes in his first 3 starts in of any like per any Q history? Yeah, apparently. Which I know it's
For the record, I didn't say it doesn't mean anything. I just said it doesn't mean as much as like wins, and then I referenced the fact that Nick Mullins in a 3-game span has more passing yards than any other 49ers quarterback, more than Steve Young, more than Joe Montana, more than Jeff Garcia, more than Colin Kaepernick, more than Jimmy Garoppolo, more than all those names.
Which I can see to you Mullins. And I can see you're right. Like it doesn't necessarily mean anything.
What that means to me is like, what'd you say the stat was? The most completed passes?
No, I actually don't remember what it was now. That's the thing. I wasn't sure. It was something like the most. I think something with passing.
I think that's what because you told me earlier, and I think you said it was the most completed passes. And honestly, that usually tells me a lot that they're playing from behind because that's usually when you have to throw the ball like 40, 50 times a game. And because what did he complete? He completed like 40 out of 50.
Well, what's weird? It was 34 out of 46, I believe. And
it was a lot of passes.
Yeah, but the first game. He only had like 140 something yards. In the second game, he had over 300. He was like 336. So he's at like 400 and something, like almost like just below 500 for the season. But his first game, he had almost nothing. But that's because Fitzpatrick got hurt partway through the game. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, like midway through the second quarter.
I just realized that. So that's why. But yeah. All right. Well. Next week we have the Bills, so that's gonna be a challenge.
It's a tough game. Yeah. Josh Allen has the scary thing about Josh Allen is Josh Allen's one of those like scary NFL prodigies that's like gotten better each NFL season he's been out there.
What's interesting though, if you look at Josh Allen and Taylor Heineke's stats from the last 2 games, they ironically look very similar. And
Josh Allen hasn't been playing that great.
And Taylor's are actually a little better, which I know doesn't mean shit, but still.
No,
it's just crazy to look at that and be like, wow, like.
Yeah, I mean, technically Taylor is 1-0 on the season because
Yes, he
Fitz
is.
Fitz started the first game, so I mean Fitz is on the hook for the first game. It's like pitching in baseball. If you start the game and you earn the deficit, which they were down when he was in there, then the loss is on Fitz. I mean, Heineke's 1-0 at this point. So
Heineke.
Yeah, there you go. The enthusiasm. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, hoping that Washington pulls it out in a tough game against Buffalo.
Yeah. We will we'll be here to cover what happens regardless, win or lose, after that game. So tune in next week for the next Redskins rundown.